being the funny guy or the jester that we call it nowadays, like jester maxing, trying to be this fun dude who is always entertaining, and someone who's just around the kind of like celebrities, but he's not celebrity himself, but he's always there for a particular reason. Like no one really cares about him that like seriously, but at the end, he's the only guy who can actually talk about the truth and talk about the real politic world, and the things that might get very controversial, but he can talk about it since no one really takes him as like a threat. But he's actually the smartest one. But what I'm trying to say isn't like actually about how smart the jesters are. What I'm trying to say, like, it's really difficult to be a jester or trying to be someone who's just entertaining. Just like I said so many times in my previous videos, that I actually aim to be a jester. I actually aim to have this like direct my YouTube channel into more entertaining wise instead of talking this kind of serious topics. I'm not saying it's bad, but just if you just look at the social media or people who's really famous on the internet or even in the real world, even in your own friend group, like small groups of people, you just realize how on the top of food chains, usually they are the people who got famous for being who they are and being just fun, entertaining, not because they have some kind of like critical thoughts or they actually improve your life in any ways. They're just fun. You just look at the videos that pop up in your recommendation of them, and you just click it just because it's fun. You don't completely like 100% agree with what they say, or like sometimes you just you find yourself, you notice how stupid they are sometimes. Like they just say something that's really controversial or something that like you don't completely agree with, but you don't really mind about it at the end because like it's just fun. When you try to watch someone who's intellectually very smart, and so he talks very articulate, like he has this strong opinion about something, and it's not extreme in either sides, in yeah, then like it's really like you gotta have this kind of all the reasons as to why you watch him or why he helps you out, like why he's right, why I think he's right. But when you talk about this one dude who's just fun to watch, you just like, yeah, he's a bit of a weirdo, but he's fun, he's just entertaining, he makes my day, he makes me laugh. Like that's all you need, that literally is all you need. That's why I think at the end, like in order to survive on the internet world, you gotta have your own personal brand. It's not what you do at the end, like it's not what you do. There always are gonna be someone who can speak better than you, who plays better than you, who plays a specific thing, a game better than you, who trains better than you, like who speaks better, like all the things. There always will be someone who will be better than you when it comes to doing things. It always comes down to what that person is, like what that person can provide, and it's extremely difficult. I honestly don't think, I honestly don't know like other ways than just like exposing yourself more to the audience and hope for the best for like, and just be yourself in front of a camera and hope for the best for someone like 10% of people who gets like that will get like attracted to you or like interested in you and will keep on watching you. And I think like, but also like trying to be, I found myself like trying to be a jester is actually the worst thing that you can also do, because at the end, like if you find someone trying to be a jester, trying to be a fun dude, and you see the intention behind it, you can clearly see that he's trying, that's like he's trying to be the fun dude. That's what it kills it. So it's kind of a dilemma if you think of it, because you have to be entertaining, but also at the same time you shouldn't actually pretend like you're trying to be fun, because that's what it kills. And it's even worse than being a straightforward and dry person. You should take this really serious. Like you should be really careful when you try to be the fun guy, but at the end, like it's actually the hardest one. Like you try it, and like, so it's not about trying. Like I need to be fun, but not in like ridiculous way, trying to like doing this all deviant stuffs that are not on being like really tolerated, or like being seen as a decent person in our society. Like you should kind of balance it out, and I think it really comes all down to being authentic, but also at the same time, I talked about it so many times about like being honest with yourself and being authentic, like actually talking about what I think instead of trying to stick on one side of an opinion that I find cool or sounds just right, and like kind of defending it around it. But at the end, like it, because but also being authentic, like I'm trying to be authentic, but already means I'm not being authentic. But already means I'm not being myself. So I think like it really all comes down to being authentic, but like actually being authentic, like not like disappearing into the action. Like I said, not trying to be authentic, but you already are there. You know, you don't even think about trying to be authentic. You're just like presenting yourself to the audience, and that's what appeals. That's what attracts people, I think. And that obviously leads to showing your flaws. And when the flaws are there, people don't take you as a threat anymore. Like a little bit of flaws, I don't know, like people, I don't want to like take, okay, like people like XQC, or like those people like who are really famous for, like they don't really do specific crazy, but they are just famous. And you think of it, and like it's like very unique. They have their own ways of talking. Not like, I'm not talking about the accent, but like it's all about that person instead of what they do. And you obviously, when you're being authentic, people will see your flaws. And I think that's when most of people cannot be themselves in front of a camera. And that's why like even when it comes to streamings, I see this very often. Like you try to build this image or brand yourself into something, but you're not, or like really hard to retain, and you end up losing everything. Like you end up even losing yourself, and you aren't really actually enjoying the journey. You aren't actually enjoying streaming or what you're doing for the audience. But like I think the counter argument, like a counter move that you can make here, is being seen like you're not being affected by it. And I think the best example of this is Clavicular. If you don't know who this guy is, he's just this looks maxing, like the leader of this looks maxing community. Well, not leader. I think he's just very notorious and famous for what he said and what he does. He really is a good example of how degenerate our society has become, and it's just bad. Like objectively, he doesn't really give this positive energies to the community. But the thing is, even when I think everyone agrees that when he first like got started blowing up in the internet, you just instantly could detect that like he's the kind of person who is very awkward in front of the camera. Like you just feel like, why would he talk like that? Like like he wasn't the kind of type of person that you would think that he'll get really famous in the future, or like he can do this like for a long time. But you know what, like that became part of him, that became part of his personal brand. Like that kind of like a little bit of awkwardness, but also he's showing all the flaws to the audience. He says so many states that are so that contradicts what he said before. Like no one really takes his words that serious, but that doesn't mean also like he's being a fucking fool. Like I like it's crazy how much you can go wrong, but also at the same time you're doing it right. And when it comes to like gaining engagements and attentions, I'm not saying it's right to do it in his way, but at least what I'm trying to say is, like, just looking at his case, it's like, so that's what a personal branding should look like, making your own personal brand. No one can be him, no one can talk like him, no one can like literally like be him. So I think that's what audience will always look for. Like what's the special about you, what's the unique part about you. And it's not like something that you can learn. And and it's not, yeah, exactly, it's not something that you can learn or you can just pick it up. You learn by years of studying. No, like you just do it, and you literally just do it, even though how awkward it first could be. um And that's why I truly believe, but one day, like if I get into streaming or like whatever, and I just start exposing myself more on the internet, I may be able to build my personal brand, because I truly believe that that's the only way to survive. That's the only way to be kind of relevant in the on the social media. And in order to do so, it'll be tough, like because it's not like you have an answer to this, like a concrete answer. It kind of, you might think like it's all about luck. It really is not. Like engagement, it really is not about luck. You might think it's about luck, but it's not like a skill that you can see. You can kind of like put it on the surface and like see, like kind of analyze it, because the thing that you can provide like has how do I say, like it differs by individuals. What you can do to the internet, like what you can provide to the internet. And yeah, that's my thought about it. That's my thought about gesture maxing and trying to be a fun dude. And also all the engagements that these famous people get, they all are gestures. These people are all entertaining, and we don't know why. It's like, yeah, we don't know why. It's not like they are perfect in any sense. Um, they sometimes sound corny. They sometimes sound cringe, but no one really takes that like serious. And like because they got used to it. They got used to their face. They got used to their contents, and they got used to the way they talk. So I guess I really guess like at the end it's all about like being exposing more, much more than on your social media, and just making the audience like be get used to your face.